Now, to discuss this all is President Obama's Deputy National Security Advisor for Strategic Communication, Ben Rhodes. Ben, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. The president says that he's disturbed, concerned, personally upset by the fact that people are saying that he doesn't necessarily have Israel's security at heart. But the White House has said very clearly that they are reassessing the relationship with Israel. There seems to be a contradiction there.
No, absolutely not, Jake. When it comes to Israel's security, our military and intelligence cooperation, that's off limits, that's protected, that's sacrosanct. What we said is on the very specific issue of the Palestinians and how do we pursue a two-state solution, we're reviewing options as it relates to the Palestinian issue. That's entirely separate and apart from our ongoing cooperation with Israel, which, as you know, has been unprecedented under this administration. And frankly, again, the president's view of this Iran deal is this is the best way to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear weapon, which is in the interest of the United States and the entire world, including Israel.
So the Israelis have put out this list of things that they think should be in the final deal with Iran, including allowing inspectors to go anywhere, anytime. That seems perfectly reasonable, no?
Well, Jake, first of all, under this deal, you will have anywhere, anytime, 24/7 access as it relates to the nuclear facilities that Iran has. You will also have access to...
What about the military facilities?
So what we'll have under this deal, Jake, is the strongest inspections regime that any country faces in the world. And what that means is if we see a site that we need to inspect on a military facility, we can get access to that site and inspect it. So if it's a suspicious site that we believe is related to its nuclear efforts, we can get access and inspect that site through the IAEA.
Now, Ben, the president argues that there are three options. This is just him talking, not me. He says it's this deal, the status quo, or war. A lot of the president's critics, the Israeli intelligence chief, say that is a false list. There's another option, including tougher sanctions, more credible threat of military action to get the deal that President Obama promised to American voters, ending Iran's nuclear program completely.
Well, wait a second, Jake. What the president has always said about the Iranian nuclear program is they should have the ability to access peaceful nuclear energy. We have to end their ability to obtain a nuclear weapon. That's what this deal does. The options the president laid out are, number one, we can have this deal, which is a good deal. Number two, we can take military action, which would only set the Iranian program back by a fraction of what this deal does. Number three, if you were to test the proposition that we walk away from the table and impose more sanctions or impose more sanctions on Iran, first of all, every time we have done that, the Iranians have advanced their program. They have a 2 to 3 month breakout timeline now. That would collapse very quickly. And then I would also take issue with the notion that the rest of the world would automatically rally behind those additional sanctions. The world rallied behind those sanctions to get this deal. Now that we have a deal, if we walk away from it, I'm not sure that we'd be able to hold that sanctions coalition together because, again, it's based on the deal that the whole international community, through the P5+1, has now agreed to with the Iranians.
Well, Ben, take a listen to President Obama at a debate in 2012 and how he described the deal with the Iranians that he would want.
The deal we'll accept is they end their nuclear program. It's very straightforward.
End their nuclear program. The president then
underground fortified facility like Fordo. They don't need some of the advanced centrifuges that they currently possess.
So that's the president in 2012, and then in 2013 at a forum talking about other things that need to be in this deal. An underground facility needs to be closed. Advanced centrifuges need to be closed. And then you heard in the 2012 clip the president saying, end their nuclear program. It's pretty straightforward. Ben, this deal doesn't meet any of that.
Well, I take issue with that, Jake. Again, first of all, you've been with the president since 2009. We've always said that if Iran could demonstrate that its program is peaceful because of strict verifiable limitations, that is our objective. With respect to Fordo, we are converting that facility under this deal. They will not be enriching uranium at Fordo under this agreement, and that's an important accomplishment of the framework. Their advanced centrifuges will be taken out. So the only centrifuges that they'll be using to enrich uranium for the duration of this agreement are their IR-1 first-generation centrifuges. They will be removing their IR-2 advanced centrifuges, and they will not be installing and enriching uranium with their advanced centrifuges. So on Fordo and on advanced centrifuges, we feel very confident in what the framework lays out and what the final deal is that we're pursuing.
But Fordo still exists, and the advanced centrifuges there's an end date to that 15 years. But Ben,